computer. Okay, go ahead, Sarah, whenever you're ready.
All right. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah Morin, and I'm a Senior Sales Coordinator with the Juice Plus Company. And this evening, we're going to be talking to you guys about tower gardens. It's this amazing aeroponic gardening system. I mean, like, I absolutely fantastic. I love it. Coming from someone who has killed a cactus and who has managed to kill an aloe plant. When I saw this thing called tower garden, I had to know more information. I had to see how it was possible to grow fruits and vegetables with no soil in your own home or outdoors. And it was like a plug and play system. So of course I bought one just because I had to see, like, I just thought it was too good to be true. So to give you a little bit of background about Tower Garden, the Tower Garden was invented by a gentleman by the name of Tim Blank in conjunction with NASA. So that was my second thing. I was like, aha, something that was developed with NASA. It has to work. Like, it must be good, right? So I did all my research. I bought my tower garden. I got really, really excited. Then I was like, okay, let's see how many plants can I kill. And I started reading the instructions. And I was like, this is really easy. Because it's a plug and play system, it came with everything I needed to start growing 20 different plants inside of my home. The tower garden system itself, aeroponic in itself, means that it's a system that uses water, air, and light to grow your food. So it's a soilless environment. You don't need any misters, nothing special in that kind of way. So that's exactly what aeroponic means. And then what it also requires, as you can see, like I've got one right behind me here. So we're going to be talking to you this evening about the difference between growing indoors. And you can see I've got lights here. And then the simplicity of growing outdoors, because we have the sunshine outside, right? So we don't need any lights. So the aeroponic system, the way it works is, I'm going to try something new this evening, so please bear with me. There's a way for me to mirror what's on my cell phone, so you guys can see what I'm talking about as I go up and down the tower garden, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen with you. Love technology, because sometimes it's really, really cool. Okay, let's see, is this working? There we go. All right. Now, can everybody see the tower garden that's behind me?
Yep, that's awesome.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So this is what an aeroponic tower garden system is. It's 2.5 meters square. And just gonna see if people, thank you. So at the base here of the tower garden, that's a 20-gallon reservoir. That's what you fill with water. Now this system here, it runs on a timer. So inside the tower garden, it's hard to see, but in there, there's a pump. Now that's just your basic fish tank pump, and it's a motor. And what it does is when it's indoors or outdoors, it's on a timer. And so for right now, indoors, for 15 minutes, every 45 minutes, that timer's gonna turn on, and it's gonna push water up the center of the tower, all the way to the top. And then from there, I'm gonna take this lid off. I'm gonna take this lid off.
Let me take the lid off.
I'm gonna take this lid off. There we go. Okay, so right at the top there, as you can see, there are little holes. Water's gonna shoot through the middle, and it's gonna trickle down all those little holes, watering every single root for your plants all the way down the tower. And it does this on an automatic timer, automatic system. So if you're anything like me and you forget to water your plants, don't worry, the thing waters itself. It's a plug and play, simple. So now I'll show you a little bit more information about the different systems that are available. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
You can? Okay, great. So now I'm gonna actually share with you guys just a little presentation that we have to show you. There's Jen, we're gonna see this. Oh, I gotta move you guys, hold on. You're taking up my PowerPoint space. There we go. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. So as I mentioned, So this is what a tower garden is. It's an aeroponic system. You can grow indoors, you can grow outdoors 365 days a year, whether you have a green thumb, a black thumb, no thumb. Doesn't matter at all. It requires no dirt. It uses 90% less water to grow your plants, your fruits, vegetables, and herbs, and edible flowers. It takes 90% less space, and that's based on the yields that you would get growing on your basic tower garden system that has 20 different ports for fruits, vegetables, and your plants. Now, people often ask, well, what can you grow? You can grow anything that doesn't require a tree, like say apples, pears, bananas. You can't grow pineapples. Or you also can't grow anything that's a rooted vegetable, like beets, potatoes, parsnips. So those kind of things you can't. You can't grow avocados either. Now, this is the outdoor growing kit. As you can see, as I've said earlier, it's 2.5 meters square, so it really doesn't take up a lot of space. And that's something I really like because I've grown in my basement, I've grown inside of a living room, in a condo, on a small back deck, and now I've got 2 growing in my kitchen. So because it doesn't take up a lot of space and it's more vertical, what's nice here is that you can always add to make it taller to give you more growing ports. Okay, so this is what your basic system looks like. Did you want to talk about the outdoor system, Michelle?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine. I've actually grown myself about 4 tower gardens outdoors at one point, and I'm like Sarah, like I killed a cactus, guys. So, I mean, if I can, kill a cactus and grow 4 towers at the same time, that says something. So for outdoors, the actual kit comes in, the unit itself comes where you can grow up to 20 plants, as Sarah mentioned, anything that's not a tree, a bush, or a root vegetable. It comes with some seeds to get you started, so non-GMO, basil, beefsteak tomato, bell pepper, cherry tomato, cucumber, eggplant, and gourmet lettuce seeds. The seed starting supplies, so you'll get a germination tray and 20 rock wool cubes. You'll also get some vermiculite and some net pots. You'll get a pump, timer, and a drain tube. You'll get the Tower Garden mineral blend, so you'll get 2 4-gallon bottles, or yeah, I guess they're called bottles, and a measuring cup. You'll get a pH test kit and 1 bottle of each of the pH adjusters. And you'll also get dedicated customer support and a comprehensive growing resources to help you at every stage of your tower garden experience. We also have growing options such as the extension kit, which will actually increase your growing by 8 more plants, and support tomato cage.
Okay. Now, can everyone see the next screen with the indoor growing kit?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'm just always afraid that I'm going to lose my PowerPoint presentation. If anybody knows me, you know that myself and technology, we don't work that well together. But myself and tower garden technology, we are like 2 peas in a pod. Okay, so in the indoor growing kit, when I bought my tower garden, you got your basic kit that everything was explained before by Michelle, but you're also going to need T5 growing lights. I don't know about you guys, but in my home, it's a newer home. And so everyone asks, well, can I just put it near a window with lots of light? You can. It's just not going to do very much very quickly. And the reason for that is because in the newer homes or newer windows, they have a UV filter built into the window, which prevents those UV rays that plants need to grow. So if you're wondering why maybe your Christmas cactus isn't flowering, or why some of your plants don't flower when they're near the window that you have right now, that could be why. So you need to get just T5 fluorescent lights. And I've been growing for 18 months. And I've had my light cycle go overnight. When I was growing in my basement, it was growing overnight. So at the lowest time for hydro. And right now, my 2 towers
Big
are
pumpkin.
running during the day. For 16 hours a day, the lights are on, and my hydro bill has not increased. Now, I've used more wattage, but I haven't seen the increase in my dollars. Okay, so I've really enjoyed that. However, I always tell everybody that one of my customers who lives in the rural areas of Ottawa, she had hers running for 16 hours during the day, and so her hydro bill, she saw an increase of just $10 a month. Okay, so if anybody's curious about the cost for fluorescent lights, I say it can be anywhere between $2 a month to what I've seen with her. Now, what you also need on the tower garden, you need this growing cage here, and they call it a tomato cage. Whether you're growing tomatoes indoors or not, you still need this cage because that's what the lights are going to attach to, and it keeps them securely in place. Now, these are just a few of the ideas that Tower Garden has put together for our customers to say, what can you grow indoors? I always tell people, grow what you eat. Yes, you can grow bok choy. Yes, you can grow Brussels sprouts. I mean, you can grow escarole, but if you're not going to eat it, don't grow it. Because the Tower Garden grows so fast that if you're not harvesting on a regular basis, it's really a pretty decoration. So, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, right? I think it's beautiful. So, what I have growing in my tower is stuff like indoors. I started all my cherry tomatoes. I do a lot of heirloom tomatoes. So like yellow cherry tomatoes, pink ones, something that's different. I eat a lot of spinach, kale, lettuce, Swiss chard, and I grow tons of different herbs. Okay, so I grow more like the chef's tower. Now, you have different ones over here. You can see there's an indoor guide, as well as you can grow a themed tower. So if you like juicing, hey, grow your celery, grow kale, cress, parsley, spinach, Swiss chard, whatever you'd like. You want Asian greens, you can grow pak choy, Chinese cabbage, you name it, it can probably grow in the tower garden. So those are just a few examples. I always tell people too, when you're looking to do your tower garden outside, I'm going to switch right now back to the Zoom so you guys can actually see me. Okay. So I always tell people, when you're growing indoors versus outside, some plants do better than others. For example, spinach doesn't like a lot of heat. It grows better in cooler, darker temperatures. When I had it growing in my basement, it was gangbusters. When I did it outside last summer, I had to switch to a different kind of spinach that was more receptive to heat. All that kind of information can be found on towergarden.ca. And luckily, Tower Garden has a YouTube channel with a boatload of videos. Like I'm talking a video on how to pollinate your cucumbers, because I don't know about you, but I don't have bumblebees in my home, which is a good thing, right? But we need them. If you're going to try to grow your cucumbers in your house, you have to pollinate. So you literally take a paintbrush and you find the male plant and you take the pollen, and then you find the female plant and you paint her. It feels kind of weird and dirty, like you're mating flowers. It's fun though. It's fun. Kids love doing it. That sounds really weird. And then also, I also learned that stuff like peppers, for example, peppers are self-pollinating because they have both the male and female plant, or female parts of the plant inside the flower. So all you need to do is just shake the plant. That's it. You just shake it, and then you'll see the pollen falling down, and it's self-pollinating. So for everyone who thinks that 4 bumps on the bottom of a pepper means male and 3 bumps means female, I'm sorry, but that's not correct. All peppers are male, females. Sorry to burst any bubbles. Now, another thing that I've learned about the difference between indoor and outdoor growing is you're looking at temperatures and water cycles, okay? So I was like, last year, I put my tower garden outside. My boyfriend at the time thought that he could do a soil for cheaper and that he would get the same result, right? So I'm just going to ask everybody to mute your phones, please, or mute your computers, because we're just getting a lot of feedback.
Oh,
Perfect. Thank you.
I think I got it.
All right. So when I started we started our seedlings at the same time. So what I did is I got my rock wool. This is rock wool. It's spun volcanic lava. Like, kids think that this is wicked cool. Like, soil, okay, yeah, it gets you dirty, worms are in there and stuff like that. But like, this is spun volcanic lava. Like, super cool, okay? I just put maybe 5 seeds in here. That's it. Put some vermiculite on top. And then I just let it be. Put a little bit of water in the bottom of your tray. And I sat it outside. So within about 10 minutes, I planted 20 different plants in my tower garden. In 10 minutes, my boyfriend managed to lug 5 bags of soil from the driveway to the backyard. So by the time he was done that, I was already drinking my wine. I was enjoying the evening. It was great. Because that's the brilliance about tower garden. There's no digging. There's no weeding. You literally put a few seeds in your rock wool. You set it outside. And within 3 days, you have lettuce sprouting out. And you're like, it goes so fast. And then, the next day, he had to go and water his garden. I didn't have to do anything. My seedlings still had water in the bottom. I'm like, okay, great. My gardening is done. My manicure looks great. My back doesn't hurt. Fantastic. And then within 10 days, I was able to, my seedlings were tall enough and they had enough of a root coming out the bottom that at that point, I simply just plugged it into a black Ned pod and put it in the tower garden. Within 10 days of that, I was already harvesting from a full tower. Because when your tower garden is outdoors, it's getting the full spectrum of UV rays. I'm talking the red spectrum, the blue spectrum, the white spectrum lights. It is everything it needs to grow. And in those 10 days, his garden got a few measly weeds, started sprouting up, like the grass started sprouting up in the soil. There were no vegetables yet. So another 10 days goes by. We've already harvested from my tower. We're going on our second head of lettuce. And he had his tomato plants started to come up. And so at one point we were measuring them. And my plant was growing significantly faster than his. And when we did more research, we found out that when you're using soil gardens, the soil itself needs nutrients, it needs minerals. So it's pulling that nutrition away from the plants, away from the roots, which is causing the plants, it's making it harder for them to grow. And that was clear and evident. And then July came and we were moving. And he had just spent like over $400 because he had to have organic soil, because this is an organic system. Everything you get in your starter kit is organic. Okay, unless you buy GMO seeds, everything that you're buying everything you're getting is organic. So he had already spent about $400. We're moving. He can't move his garden. Okay, he took out his tomatoes, they died. He transplanted his cabbage, it died. What we did is we simply unscrewed the tower garden. It comes off the base. We emptied the water. We put it in the moving truck. We moved it across the city into our new backyard, filled it up, and we had dinner that night. It was that simple. And for me, that's very economical. I've been that person where I actually stood at the grocery store and looked at a head of lettuce and thought to myself, I can't afford $6 right now. I could afford, that can get me 3 boxes of Kraft Dinner. I've been that person where I had to really think about where I was spending my money. I've been to a place where it was like, okay, I could only eat celery. I couldn't afford to buy all these other vegetables. And with the tower garden now, I can afford to eat healthy all the time, because one head of lettuce will regrow 3 different heads. So it costs you 25 cents for those 10 seeds, and they give you 3 heads of lettuce. I don't know about you guys, but one of those boxes of salads that you pay $6 for, and you open it and you get that funky smell because it's been on a truck and it's been sprayed, and you're like, what? And it's like you're trying to chase the smell, like eat it before the smell happens. Like, I've been that person where I've thrown out food and I'm like, that's $3. And to me, that matters. In this tower garden, because we do 1-year interest-free financing, so for $2 a day, you can have an outdoor growing system. So if we think about all the food that we throw out because we're chasing the expiry date, you're not having that experience with a tower garden. For me, it was very clear and simple. After 4 months, I was growing and consuming the same cost of food that it was for me to finance over 1 year, the Tower Garden. Does that make sense? Like in one month, I would harvest over $100 worth of produce, and I wasn't even paying that much for my Tower Garden. After 6 months, I was able to, on a regular basis, harvest enough food to feed 20 people once a week. And I did that at Thanksgiving. I had so much food on my Tower Garden. My one pepper plant grew 140 peppers, like madness. But because of that Tower Garden growing so many peppers, at Thanksgiving, I was able to feed 20 different local families with the excess produce that I had on my tower, because it was the end of the season. So I went to my food bank and I said, can I donate? And I had 20 salads. So I'm talking chives, kale, lettuce, all this stuff for 20 different local families. All because I planted 10 seeds. So for me, the value is endless with this Tower Garden. They're built to last. So far, the testing's been done for 15 years. My unborn daughter we already have a Tower Garden for her. Like, she's taking that thing to university with her because I want her to have food for life. I want her to be able to taste what an organic strawberry tastes like. Every single food that all first foods that she's going to eat will be grown by myself and my partner. Like, we're planting squash, we're planting pumpkin, watermelon, peppers. Like, if I think about it, like my unborn child, I'm growing her first foods, and it's completely GMO free. I can't tell you how amazing, as you can see, I just love this system so much. It's so incredible, and it's low maintenance. I'm talking 5 to 10 minutes a week. You're refilling your water, you check your pH level. Like, it really, it's like, I'm blonde, I don't always follow instructions, but it's super easy to do. I mean, I call my mom the glamorous granny, and she's growing her Tower Garden. No problem. This is her Tower Garden. This is mine. I have a herniated disc, and I can garden. And I have 5-year-olds, and my friend Becky Black, we have 5-year-olds in schools across Ottawa growing their own food. Anybody can do this. Anybody can grow in the Tower Garden. It's that simple. Does anybody have any questions? Because I kind of get excited, and I may have gone off my PowerPoint because, let's face it, PowerPoints are kind of boring. Excitement's way better.
That was amazing, Sarah. Amazing, amazing.
Does anybody have any questions about what you can grow, how to order, what's the support, how do you get started? It's really cool. Oh,
strawberries. Someone asked.
Strawberries. Okay. Everyone's asking about strawberries. I'm going to tell you right now. Unless you're willing to try various lights, so you can buy red light bulbs that fit into the Tower Garden slot, the light fixtures. Strawberries indoors, just don't. No. Save that for outdoors, okay? Strawberries are a little bit more finicky. I am very passionate. Yes. How much hydro do they use? So it really varies on where you live. So in Ottawa, I've spent $2 a month on hydro, where I have people living on the outskirts and they've spent $12 a month on hydro in the wintertime. Shannon, you're ordering yours as soon as you start your new job. Amazing! Yes, Becky Black, you're right. You can designate a Tower Garden to just strawberries if you want. You absolutely can. Let's see. How to get started. So what you do is you go and you contact the person who invited you to this meeting this evening, and you ask them directly. You can order directly from their website. And what's really great about the website is that you can do your own online shopping. I love buying shoes online, and it's so much easier to buy a Tower Garden. Let me tell you, it breaks it all down. It's got everything you need, and you see your cost, and it's just fantastic. And then, how often should you change the water? Amazing question. So you're going to be filling, the bigger it grows, the more you're going to fill it with water. So my tower garden at home is in like full bloom, and I'm growing 28 different plants. So I'm adding about 5 to 10 gallons a week. Now what you want to do is at a certain point, you do want to let the water level go down. And if you don't let it go down, then you simply attach a hose on the top and you drain it out. I do this about every 2 months. And the reason why I do this is because you're going to see a lot of mineral deposits on the bottom of the tower in the water in the basin there at the bottom. So you want to flush that out and you want to put brand new water in. So you start loading it with water. When it's halfway full, you're going to add your tonic A, and then you fill the other half, and then you add tonic B, and you run your timer cycle, and then you check your pH level. And that all comes in your instruction kits, and it also has an online YouTube video. And then do you start the strawberries with seeds or roots? I started them with seeds. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to start them with seeds because they're non-GMO and they're organic. You can start them that are already rooted. Again, that's something that you want to look at in your local, what are those places called there that sell plants? Nurseries. So you can go to your local nurseries, and we've had people get them that are already rooted in soil. You have to wash off the soil, and then you would slice open your rock wool, put the roots inside, and close it and put an elastic band around there, a food-grade elastic band, so something you would find on your broccoli. And then from there, it's up to you. I've seen people it gets very messy in their tower. Some people can get bugs because you don't know where that strawberry, if it was open pollinated, so that's a whole other thing. But luckily for you, on the towergarden.ca site, if you go onto the search section, you type strawberries, there's a whole gamut of information. It's absolutely brilliant. So if you're growing, how much does the basic tower cost? So your basic tower garden is $649. Again, go to towergarden.ca and pick all the accessories you want. Like if you want a dolly or whatever it is you want, okay? So just the basic though is no cage, just grow 20 plants. The first, or go to the person who referred you here and they'll put it all together for you. So if you're growing inside, how do you fill? With regular tap water? Yep, so we just use regular tap water. And we have this, a food grade bucket. Don't use a Rubbermaid, don't use something to mop your water with, because the plastic will leach, that will leach into your water. So I tend to keep one of these full on hand all the time, because it's good to let your water sit out for 24 hours. It says the chlorine evaporates. I don't know, I'm no science-o-matician here, so I always have one just prepared with pre-mixed the minerals that I need, okay? So food grade bucket, I got that from a local chef store in town. And I use just tap water. If you have soft water, there are certain processes that you need to follow. And if you go to towergarden.ca, all the information is there. Where did you find your strawberry seeds? Online. Google. Sorry. I go to Greta's Organic Seeds. I love her seeds. She has a return, like if you're not satisfied, you can return your seeds, and she delivers across Canada. And yeah, you want to make sure that there's no chlorine in your water. So don't fill it from the water in your pool. Thanks, Melissa. Sorry. Well water is that spring? No, spring water. So my customers who are near a spring, like their tower garden, I'm just super jealous. Like it's like gangbusters, and they barely need to put minerals in it. So when I first got my tower garden, I went to Costco and I bought like the big jugs because I was just super impatient. I was like, so excited. So I did that. One tip for filling your tower garden, my glamorous granny here, well, my mom, that's her little name I given her. She's a genius, right? Because there's a hole in the back of the tower garden basin because the cord needs to come out for the pump.
It's on my hardwood
floor.
floor.
And it's at the back of the tower garden. And you fill it from the front. So what we did is we took the lid of the tower garden, and right where your W's, where the first crease of your W in the tower, do a line all across. And what you do is you sit this inside the tower garden, and once your water level reaches there, stop. If you go higher, it's going to flood out the back. Not that I've done.
You sit it on the lid here.
Yeah, you sit it on the lid to here. So that's just a little trick. Because again, I get super excited. I'm a little squirrely, and I have flooded my tower. 117. Thank you, Melissa. I don't know what number I yelled out. I just say 650 because I'm like, I add accessories, right? That's where you let it sit. Yes. Tap water. What do you do if the water goes halfway down and then you have much to fill? Do you let several pails out? No, you just fill the rest up with regular water. Like, you don't have to have like 20 gallons laying around your house all the time. You don't even need to have, and like my glamorous granny here, she never even has water set aside. Like, I give her the advice, but you do what you want. Like, some people they get a garden hose and you run it from their faucet to the tower garden if they don't buy the dolly. I have the dolly and I have like a hose in my kitchen, so I'll do that too. Because I'm also pregnant and I forget that there's a giant bucket of water right beside my tower garden. Whatever, I'm pretty. So it's up to you. And when you're outdoors, like I noticed last summer, I was filling it a little bit more often because it was quite humid. But I just used the hose, like that's it. And then all the instructions, what's really great is that every single bottle of minerals and stuff, all the instructions on how many milliliters of tonic to use per gallon is there. I work in liters, so I had to download a conversion app on my phone. Yep, city water's just fine. 5 gallons a week, Becky, awesome. Nicole, tap water's working, amazing. And yeah, that's it. I don't want to take up too much time. It's 9:33. I get super excited and passionate. And I'm really, really hot right now. It's like I'm having a hot flash. I get so excited about these tower gardens. So, I'm sorry, guys. I have to take off my sweater. But does anybody have any questions about the tower or anything like that? They ship really quickly as well. And they'll go right to your door. And it's like really fun. You get like big giant boxes. So if you have kids, the bonus, like not only do kids love to plant the seeds, but they also love to use the box for like a spaceship or a car. So it's like a 2-in-1, really. It's really great. Tower garden book. Yes, there's a tower garden recipe book. It's at my house right now. I don't have it with me. But guess what? towergarden.ca has it online and you can download it and there's tons of recipes. There's instruction books. You can go to Tower Talk. It's an online blog for tower gardeners. And there are tons of Facebook groups like Canada's Tower Garden Gurus. Woo woo. There's that. And I think that's it. I don't think there are any more. And Stephen Ritz.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Power of a plant. Stephen Ritz is, well, he's an idol of myself and Becky Black. We saw a few of his videos last in July of 2000 and what year, 16, 17, 15, whatever, a few years ago. He's a genius. Stephen Ritz, you must look him up online. If you have a child in a school, if there are schools in your neighborhood or community centers or senior centers, please reach out to the person who invited you here today, because our goal is to have a tower garden in every single school across Canada. These things are changing kids' lives. Kids are learning where food comes from, and they're more likely to eat the food that they grow. It's unbelievable. The Power of Plant, it goes on sale tomorrow on Amazon. You can buy it. It's amazing. Oprah loves him. Like, come on, he's fantastic. What else is there? Oh, do we have to take it all apart to take it outside? Okay. If you're going to move your tower and you want to save your marriage and you have an extension kit, this is my advice to you. Remove the extension kit. Remove the lights. And put pantyhose around your plants. Okay? So like just tie it around to hold your peppers together, your tomatoes together. Measure, and then you can move it. So we've moved it from a basement upstairs, and we've also moved it from a living room to outdoors. But you can't move it with the base attached to the reservoir, because that's 160 pounds, is 20 gallons. And, I can lift a 2 for it. That's about it. But you can totally move it without taking it all apart. And what else is there?
Looks like that's it, Sarah.
I think that's it. So I thank everybody for coming out this evening. And I can't say enough great things about the Tower Garden. I love it. And I love the fact that I will always be able to afford food. I will always have fresh food for my family. Because for 1 year, I sacrificed not buying a purse every month.
Mhm.
And I cut back to 2 bottles of wine a month. And I was able to afford my tower garden. And now I have food for life. And that's the best gift I could have ever given myself and my family. Thanks, everyone. I think that's it.
That's it. I'm going to stop the